Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I'm reviewing the Lenovo Legion Slim 7i Gen 8. Today's video is sponsored by our partners at Intel and Lenovo, without whom I wouldn't be able to share with all of you why I feel this is one of the best machines money can buy in 2023. So let's start with internal specifications. The stars of the show being Intel's 13th gen Core i9 13900H processor, Nvidia's RTX 4070 with 140 watts of power, 16 gigs of DDR5 RAM, a 16-inch 2560 by 1600 res, 240 Hz IPS panel, a 1TB Gen 4 NVMe, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.1, and a 99 watt-hour battery that can be charged up to 70% in as little as 30 minutes using the included 230 watt power adapter. All of this amounts to best-in-class performance for gaming and of course work as well, whether playing Alan Wake 2 or Battlefield 2042 or even Rust a little bit later in this review. You will see that this is a gaming machine, even though, again, it weighs 4.4 pounds and is nearly 3/4 of an inch thin. Intel's Thread Director technology, along with their smart cache and hybrid architecture, end up yielding best-in-class frame rates for gaming, as well as stability for everything you will throw at this machine. Lenovo's build quality is absolutely phenomenal. The power button you see on screen now also doubles as a fingerprint scanner for Windows Hello compatibility, security a plus, no doubt. Harman Kardon speakers. The per-key RGB backlit mechanical keyboard is one of the best in the business, 1.5 millimeters of key travel. We even have a numerical keypad reminding you this machine is ready for business, not just play, and the keyboard being great isn't surprising. Speaking of work, I rendered and of course edited this entire review on the Slim 7i and it didn't break a sweat. Not surprising, again, because it is powered by Intel's Core i9 13th gen CPU and the RTX 4070 with 140 watts of power. Of course, ergonomics are key to making a good machine a great one. Having a copious trackpad or touchpad like this is excellent. A full HD webcam means that you're going to look your best when you enter that Skype or of course Zoom meeting, team meeting, whatever it may be, or just hanging out with friends and family. And then the very subdued design language and the 100% aluminum chassis, well, you would never know it's a gaming machine. The illuminated rear I/O I absolutely love. And speaking of I/O, we've got, of course, a privacy shutter for the webcam, a full-size SD card slot. On the rear of the machine, we have 3 Type-A USB ports, a full-size HDMI 2.1 out for pretty much anything, and the power adapter, of course, headphone microphone combo jack, 2 Type-C ports, but more importantly, one of them is a Thunderbolt 4 port. And in this day and age, I really wouldn't buy any machine that does not have Thunderbolt capability, as well as an Intel processor, because stability is that important to what I do as a content creator. And don't forget, the second Type-C port you just saw on screen is also capable of power delivery 3.1. That means you can power this machine with a 140 watt adapter. I did that. I have a Lenovo 140 watt and it worked beautifully. I'll talk about performance very soon. It also is capable of DisplayPort 1.4 output for anyone wondering. Let's talk about the display itself, because there are 2 different panels you can choose from. The one I'm reviewing is the base model, 240 Hz refresh rate, 2560 by 1600 res, and it's an IPS panel that I think is really, really good. In fact, a perfect match if gaming is your top priority. But when it comes to color accuracy, Adobe RGB spectrum, just a little over 70%, which I think is perfectly fine for just about everyone. But if you work in a color critical business, like I do, photography, any sort of design, you'll probably want to upgrade to the 3K display, which of course offers higher resolution, a 165 Hz refresh rate, but it does have 100% DCI-P3 rendering, which means color critical work will be satisfied. But again, I really think it's tough to go wrong with either of these displays since both are great. Now let's talk about what's under the hood in terms of thermals, upgradability, and I have to say, again, for a machine that is nearly 3/4 of an inch thin, no thermal throttling. I was shocked. And Lenovo found a way to keep that Core i9 Intel 13th Gen CPU and the RTX 4070 cool even when I threw the heaviest workloads at them. And that is amazing. Now you can see on screen the 1TB Gen 4 NVMe SSD. To the right of it, 16 gigs of DDR5 RAM soldered to the board, but we do have an open slot. I do recommend upgrading that so that you have 32 gigs of dual channel RAM. Your performance will just increase. And then of course a second slot for more internal storage, another NVMe drive. And then the 99 watt-hour battery, which you will easily get 6 to 8 hours of real-world use, and possibly as much as 10 if you are incredibly frugal with power management. But thermals, as you can see here, even under stress tests, it was really tough to get it to clip 45 degrees Celsius, which I was absolutely shocked by. No true hotspots on the keyboard. The full-size SD card slot does not allow the SD card to sit flush when inserted. Not a big deal, but something I wanted to point out, of course. And then when it comes to benchmarking, the 1TB NVMe SSD did very well, as you can see right now in Crystal Disk Mark. And as we move to other benchmarks for the CPU and GPU, no surprise here, Time Spy, the Slim 7i screams. I mean, I was able to get nearly 13,000. And when I used the 140 watt power adapter over Type-C, I still got nearly 11,000. I mean, so just process that. I mean, I'm not trying to be cute. Amazing performance even when not bringing the 230 watt full-size adapter along for the trip. And overall, I was just blown away by the performance that Lenovo was able to pack into this machine. But again, that partnership with Intel delivers best-in-class performance along with best-in-class stability. That's something I will, stress over and over again. When it comes to Lenovo's Legion Vantage software, whether you want to control overclocking, fan profiles, or fan curves, I should say, or thermal profiles, it's all a click away. And remember, overclocking is something you're going to do at your own risk. Lenovo will give you a disclaimer about that, as all good manufacturers should, because, well, overclocking is exactly that. You are playing with performance. Profiles for the RGB keyboard, you have 6 in total. So if you want a rainbow of gaming goodness, or you want a strictly static white color, you're good to go. System updates are one click away inside of the Vantage software. Pretty much everything, including battery management, if you're going to keep this machine docked but want to ensure that you do not degrade your battery prematurely, Lenovo has you covered there too. Whether we're talking about input and different accessories, or of course your webcam or macros, everything is there, including color calibration for the display. So Lenovo really has covered everything with the Vantage software, and dare I remind all of you that this harmony has been achieved between Intel with that Core i9 13th Gen processor, sporting all of its not just latest and greatest capability, but also the lineage that you get in optimization, not only in gaming for the highest frame rate that you're going to get from any manufacturer, but also stability. So when I work in photo editing, video editing, virtually all software, one thing I know is that when I'm on an Intel build like this, stability is going to be best in class, something you really can't get from other manufacturers, and that's why I do always go with Intel machines. If you follow my channel, you already know that. And when it comes to what Lenovo was able to do, again, keeping this cool, keeping this really compact, lightweight, and still an incredible performer when using it with that 140 watt Type-C power delivery 3.1 solution, this is nearly impossible to beat from any other manufacturer, and that's why I'm more than happy to share this review with all of you, because I know that this is one of the best machines that money can buy in 2023, and nearly every customer, every walk of life, will be pleased, dare I say, incredibly happy with what the Slim 7i delivers. Performance, good looks, and it's incredibly well made. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button, and as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.